Hello everyone, my name is Arianna Reyes and with my classmate Gabriel Silva, we're going to talk about a little story of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes called The Man with the Twisted Lip.
Setting: the story is set in London around 1888. It would talk about locations like Lee in Kent County or Baker or Bow Street and places like over Sunderland. Characters: Number 1. John H. Watson. He was a British man, doctor and writer, who lived at 2021 B Baker Street, London. 2. Sherlock Holmes. He was an English detective from the late 19th century who stood out for his intelligence, his skillful use of observation and deductive reasoning to solve difficult cases. Number 3. Neville Sinclair. He was a British businessman who would go missing on one of his trips. He would pose as a figure named Hook Bone. Plot: this new account of the prolific series begins with Dr. Watson's description of his friend Isa Whitney, an opium addict. One night in June 1889, Watson has to fetch Whitney from a city den in London saloons at the behest of his unfortunate wife. To his surprise, whom he found there, and what seemed to be a story about the world of opium and its blood takes a complete turn. Watson willingly joins the investigation Holmes is conducting, merely sending a note to his wife. Ignorantly, at the beginning of the story, Mr. Watson is mistaken and refers to her husband as James instead of John. Holmes leads Watson to Nerve in the county of Kent. On the way, he explained that the St. Clair couple lived happily in the Cedars, a luxurious mansion. The disappearance of her husband, Neville St. Clair, in mysterious circumstances, has led Holmes to Sheridan, where Watson has St. Clair appears to have been killed by Hawthorne, a figure whose twisted made him look sinister. All the evidence accused the figure, who was already being imprisoned, but the arrival of a message together with the St. Clair ring totally changed expectations. Holmes, after one of his usual sleepless nights, managed to happily solve the case of a man who discovered that it was more profitable to pretend to be a beggar than to work in his profession as a journalist because he earned more money than in his real job.
Conflict. The disappearance of St. Clair, it was not known if he had died. His whereabouts were known, and it was suspected that the beggar had murdered him. Narrator. The narrator of the story was the same Dr. Watson, who was recounting the facts around this whole scheme. Theme. The hidden message of the story is that details are everything. Even when we think something can be solved or is too twisted to be true, any detail or thought can be the clue to it. Conclusion. We have to pay attention to the details in every situation because that can be the key to everything. Mood. Mysterious, intriguing, and surprising. Through all the reading, you feel intrigued by the fact that there are no clues. While the story keeps developing, the mystery seems to have no conclusion. But when Holmes does his job and starts to have the conclusion, you feel surprised because it's something that you will never expect.